Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, I'm Nurul Fadhilah J, member of Group 6 for Introduction to Linguistic subject. And the material that we would like to explain is about phonology. Phonology is the one of the subfields of linguistics that explain about the sound patterns of language or the study of the sound system of language. And in this phonology chapter, there are several things that we would like to explain. The first is about the pronunciation of morpheme. The second is about phonemes, and the last is about the rules of phonology. Well, as the first presenter, I'd like to explain about the pronunciation of morpheme and phonemes. Well, the pronunciation of morphemes. Morphemes are pronounced differently depending on their context. In this part, I have 2 points to tell. The first is about the pronunciation of plurals, and the second is about additional example of allomorph. The first is the pronunciation of plural. As you know that nearly all the English nouns have a plural forms, and untuk mengubahnya menjadi bentuk plural atau jamak, maka suatu noun akan ditambahkan dengan morfem s or es. Nah, jika kita mendengar seorang native speaker of English, mereka akan pronounce morfem s ini dengan cara yang berbeda. Well, I will give you the example. Pada noun ini, bentuk pluralnya akan dibaca sebagai cabs, cats, bags, bars, spas, and boys. Contoh lainnya adalah pada noun ini pluralnya akan dibaca sebagai caps, cats, bags, cuffs, fades. Kemudian contoh lainnya, pada noun ini pluralnya akan dibaca buses, bushes, garages, matches, and badges. Dan contoh yang terakhir adalah pada noun yang ini, karena ini merupakan irregular noun yang berarti tidak ditambahkan dengan morfem s, maka tidak ada aturan phonology-nya, dan untuk pronunciation-nya akan mengikuti kata itu sendiri sebagaimana seharusnya. Nah, dari contoh-contoh yang saya jelaskan, maka kita dapat simpulkan bahwa morfem dapat dibunyikan atau dapat dilafalkan dengan cara yang berbeda-beda. Nah, cara yang berbeda-beda dalam pengucapan morfem inilah yang disebut dengan allomorph. Maka morfem s memiliki 3 allomorph, yaitu se, ze, dan is. And the is the basic form of plural morpheme. Okay, now we are going to talk about the second point. It's about the additional example of allomorph. Pada poin ini, kita akan membahas mengenai bentuk-bentuk regular verb yang jika dipakai untuk past tense, itu kita akan menambahkan morfem d or ed. So, here is the first example. Pada verb ini, jika akan dibentuk menjadi bentuk past, maka ditambahkan dengan ed. Jadi, kita dapat mengucapkan glowed, gloated, rayed, rated. Kemudian pada contoh yang kedua ini, maka menjadi grabbed, hugged, faced, and roamed. Itu contoh yang kedua. Kemudian kita mempunyai contoh yang ketiga, yaitu pada verb-verb yang ini, jika kita akan membentuknya ke dalam bentuk past, maka menjadi ripped, kissed, dan poked. Well, to sum up, set A suggests that if the verb ends with T or D, so eat is ed. And set B suggests that if the verb ends in a voice segment other than D, so we add a voiced D. And set C show us that if the verb ends in a voiceless segment other than T, so we add a voiceless T. Nah, allomorph tersebut tidak mengubah makna baik itu T, D, or id. Semuanya sama-sama mengartikan bahwa verb tersebut merupakan bentuk dari past. Then I'm going to explain about minimal pairs. A minimal pair is two words with different meanings that are identical except for one sound segment that occurs in the same place in each word. Let's look at the first example. Cab and cat. Cab and cat are a minimal pair that differ only in their final segments. Then, the second example, cat and mat. Cat and mat are a minimal pair that differ only in their initial segments. And the last example is tidy and tiny. Tidy and tiny are identical, but they are different in their medial segment. Well, now I would like to explain about the next part. It's about phonemes, the phonological units of language. This part introduces us to phonemes and allophones. Phonemes is the basic form of a sound, and each phoneme has associated with it one or more sound. It's called allophone. The example is phoneme is pronounced with the aspiration allophone in pit, but without aspiration in spit. Now we're going to talk about vowel nasalization in English as an illustration of allophones. English contains a general phonological rule that determines the context in which vowels are nasalized. The following examples show this: been, beat, roam, wrote. Taking oral vowels as basic, that's as the phonemes, we have a phonological rule that states vowels are nasalized before a nasal consonant within the same syllable. This rule expresses our knowledge of English pronunciation. Nasalized vowels occur only before nasal consonants and never elsewhere. The effect for this rule is like in this table. This table illustrates that oral vowels in English occur in final position and before non-nasal consonants. Nasalized vowels occur only before nasal consonants. The non-words show us that nasalized vowels do not occur finally or before non-nasal consonants, nor do oral vowels occur before nasal consonants. Then the process of substitute one sound for another in a word to see if it makes a difference is a good way to identify the phonemes of a language. Here are 12 words differing only in their vowel. Then, to distinguish between a phoneme and its allophone, we use slashes for phonemes and square brackets for allophones. And are allophones of phoneme and are allophones of phonemes and so on. Well, to sum up, a vowel has different allophone or a phoneme has different allophone. Well, now we're going to explain the next point. It's about allophone, especially allophone of T. Consonant to have allophones, and the example is consonant T that has different allophones. Like in the example, T in tick, stick, hits, and bitter. Well, in tick, we normally find an aspirated T, and in stick and hits, we find an unaspirated T. Then in bitter, we find flap T. So we can assume that phoneme T has three allophones. They are T aspirated, and T unaspirated, and then T flap, like in the bitter or tidal. That's all from me, and for the next explanation will be explained by my friends. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.